Ah, shit. Get your tea and your popcorn because we have hit yet another psychological jackpot. Chris Brown has deactivated his Instagram after being called a colorist again. He recently had Kayla Nicole on stage with him and he did like a little lap dance performance. And people began complaining about how she's the only dark skinned girl who he's ever let on stage and he only likes women who are light skinned. So let's get into this footage and then we will come back and analyze.
Chris Brown said, here, damn. He got tired of y'all talking about he ain't bring no brown skin baddies, no dark skinned girls on the stage, and he picked Kayla Nicole. Not only somebody who's not conventionally dark skinned. I mean, she's darker than his normal preference, but she's also famous. So it was kind of like, and everybody's like, oh, finally Chris Brown brought it. If you have to say finally he brought a brown skin or chocolate girl on stage, that's very telling. Y'all say that out y'all mouth like it's just normal, but that's not normal at all. The story times go viral every single time. It's so often at this point, I'm just used to it. Like the story times of, oh, he's colorist. Oh, he won't let black girls in his section. Oh, he won't let black girls in the VIP area. Oh, he'll never bring a black girl on stage. Like, at what point do y'all just say, okay, he don't like us, it's okay? Obviously, he doesn't like black women in a sense of like, he doesn't want to date you. He doesn't want to be with you. But when he's disrespecting y'all as fans, why? Why would he change anything if he's steady going viral for being colorist, but the brown skinned girlies are still going to the shows? Y'all are still showing up. Why would he change anything? He has nothing to change because there's no consequences to his actions. Like, I wonder when the brown skinned girls buy $1,000 meet and greet ticket and he see that they coming up next in line, will he be like, fuck?
So I just had to pause it here and point out that notice how this girl says that Kayla Nicole is not the conventional dark skin. Why is she saying that? She's saying it because it's very obvious that Kayla Nicole benefits from futurism and texturism. And so notice how she was like, oh, well, the only difference is she's just a little bit darker than what he usually dates. So him bringing Kayla Nicole on stage was still not enough. Unambiguous women still felt offended because, Kayla Nicole, she is not a representative of Chris Brown's true fans, which look more Afrocentric. Also, you guys have to remember that Kayla Nicole is the one where there were a lot of black women not supporting her when she first broke up with Travis Kelce because they were making that claim that, oh, she hangs out with all white people. Oh, she's just a token dark-skinned sidekick.
Kayla Nicole, you almost got me with that nice little speech that you did towards black women, but then I started thinking. And then I started digging. Let me get you guys caught up. So this is Kayla Nicole. She was dating Travis, who plays for the Kansas City Chiefs. Boo, because we all know it's about the Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly. But in any case, so now he is dating Taylor Swift. So she was dating this man for 5 years. They had been broken up for 1 year prior to him meeting Taylor Swift. 5 years, girl. 5 years? No ring? Mistake number 2. So now the Swifties have been coming at her ruthlessly. So she does this Instagram post that got millions of likes in which she says she's written a letter to black women, aka herself. In that letter, she says there is power in silence and then continues to talk for like 10 minutes. You should never react and then continues to write a book. And all of a sudden now she's this pro-black person. But where was that energy when she was dating Travis? I'm so sick of black women hanging in these white spaces, and the second they get rejected, they run to the black community, get the black community riled up to defend them because they were rejected by these white spaces. Where was that energy before when she was dating Travis? She had 5 years. She had 5 years to give speeches to black women. Where is that energy when she was dating him? I'll wait. I'll wait. I'll wait. I'll wait. It wasn't there. It wasn't there until she was rejected by that very community that she tried to belong to. 5 years later, that all of a sudden she's pro-black and she's writing this vanity letter. That letter was not to black women. That letter was to herself. That letter was to herself.
So notice how at the beginning of the video she says Kayla Nicole is black, and then at the end of the video she says, "Oh, Kayla Nicole, that letter wasn't to black women. That letter was just to herself." And then she does this trope where it's like white people won't accept you. So do you see how she's trying to say that Kayla is, she's not real. She's not down with the true unambiguous women. So I'm not surprised that people are also trolling Kayla Nicole and basically saying, this doesn't prove that Chris Brown is not colorist because Kayla still benefits from texturism and featurism. So apparently Chris Brown should have brought up somebody who looked more like Whoopi Goldberg, and then that would have been proof that he's not a colorist.
Baby, it's 2025. How are you not aware? How has it escaped you that Chris Brown is a virulent or rampant colorist who does not like dark-skinned black women? If you are darker than this tea koozie, this thing right here, Chris Brown is not for you. I just watched a video of this young woman who does not appear any older than 24 or 25 share the story about how Chris Brown is apparently touring. So she shared the story about how her friend was going to hook her up with backstage VIP passes to the Breezy Bowl. And when she got there, somebody from Chris Brown's team would not give them the VIP passes. And it was her, a friend who was dark like her. This girl was about my complexion. And it was her and her dark-skinned friend and then her light-skinned friend. The camp was trying to give the light-skinned friend a pass, but he was saying that he didn't have anything for the dark-skinned girl and her dark-skinned friend. And she was watching this guy give VIP passes to the other girls who were coming in, who happened to be light-skinned, as he was standing there in her face, lying to her that he didn't have any VIP passes. And she stood there for an hour, letting somebody play in her face like that. I'm trying to be like empathetic because it must suck to find out that your favorite artist does not care about you, does not like you. However, I thought this was common knowledge in this year of our Lord, 2025. If you didn't know by now you know. Chris Brown does not like the dark-skinned girls. Chris Brown is not for us. If you are darker than my nails, he ain't going.
Chris Brown is a colorist. Whoop-de-doo. We been new. Why y'all keep giving me your money? Why are you, as a dark-skinned black woman, going to a Chris Brown concert? He's a colorist, and he beats women, allegedly. But he has a 15-year history of violence towards men and women. Multiple cases against him, both domestic and abroad, for beating people. Sometimes with bottles. And on top of that, he's a colorist. And you carried yourself to these concerts. And you come to the internet to come and tell us, oh my God, Chris Brown's a colorist. You knew. We all know. Stop paying colorists.
There's too many dark-skinned women who feel like if it didn't happen to me, it's not real, or it didn't actually happen. Because the way y'all come for these dark-skinned women who are speaking about going to Chris Brown concerts and being discriminated against is ridiculous. Just because it's not your reality doesn't mean it's not reality. So I'm going to leave the creator tag below, but essentially she said that Chris Brown picks his VIP people and who he lets on stage based on the brown paper bag test, and he handpicks who gets to come into his VIP. His entourage is fully aware, his security is fully aware. They know how Chris Brown operates. He just directs them to do it, and they do as he says. People were trying to defend Chris Brown by saying, oh, but he brought Kayla Nicole on stage, or he brought this young lady on stage who still meets the brown paper bag test. It's the fact that if you paid your tickets, you paid your money to come support this artist, then you should not be discriminated against. And I hate that these young women are having to experience this in real time and, going from a fan to being discriminated against. I know it could be hard, and I empathize with you, but y'all gave this man too much leeway. And there's a lot of women who meet the brown paper bag test who are just turning their cheek to it, turning the other cheek like, what? I don't understand what the problem is. And there's dark-skinned women who are doing it too because they feel like if they haven't experienced it, then it doesn't make it real. It's just not possible. I would never spend money on a Chris Brown concert. And if you feel like him picking you based on your complexion makes you better than anybody, think again. Because if there was a white woman standing next to you, believe me, you wouldn't be in that VIP section. I'm just saying.
I just had to pause it right there because notice how she said, oh, if you think you're better because you get picked for Chris Brown's VIP, think again. But then she says, oh, if there was a white woman next to you, she'd get chosen above you. And it's like, ma'am, you just said that being Chris Brown's preference doesn't matter, but then you're trying to triangulate light skinned women against white women and say that, oh, well, you would still be picked second. When Chris Brown doesn't even have a history of dating white women. Also, if he's so dusty and a colorist, then why do you care what his preferences are?
Look, Chris Brown is not colorist. Stop saying that. I don't think most of y'all even know what the definition is. A lot of it seems to come from the fact that you all may have low self-esteem. See, the women that keep saying it are the ones who believe that he wouldn't pick them. And man, probably with that attitude, he would not. Like, you got to go on. You got to stop making your issue someone else's issue. See, there's nothing wrong with that man having a type of woman that he may prefer to date or to rub up on, if that's what he's doing. Like, if you were a celebrity and you could bring any guy or woman into your section, and it's really women who keep on saying this, but if you were a woman and you can bring any man into your section or any man on stage with you, what is going to be a man that you like, right? A man that you attracted to, right? A man that you might want to get with, right? So why is it a problem when Chris Brown bring women up or you see him dating women who he prefers? There's not, every person has a type. And if that person's type is not you, it's okay. See? So stop saying that man is colorist. People that are colorist, usually you don't see them around people that look like them. You see them around what they, so if he was colorist and he didn't like people of color or brown people or black people, you would see his entire team would be whiteness. His entire team would be white people. And the women he would probably date would be white. So stop saying that because you have a problem with your self-esteem. Because y'all projecting. A lot of it is y'all projecting. Y'all mad that you can't be with them. And a lot of y'all probably couldn't because it ain't your color. Like, come on, man. Let's be real here. Leave that man alone. Stop spreading lies about him. He's never said that. Y'all never heard him say he don't like women of color. If he didn't want somebody in his section back in the day, it might have been because they didn't need to be in his section. It's his life, his business, and he can do with it what he wants. Leave that man alone about what he likes or doesn't, because you don't really know.
So Chris Brown posted, he said, I'm going to take a break from social media. Y'all done pissed me off long enough. So he's checking his black audience and basically saying, you're not going to bully me and I can delete my social media. If you want to bully me, you don't get to lust over my pictures. You don't get to stalk my Instagram and be a monitoring spirit. And he's experiencing what a lot of MLS people experience in the black community, which is they love you, they admire you, they lust after you, they fetishize you, they pay to take pictures of you, they sexualize you, they want to see you swinging your D around and, doing all these smexual poses and these photos. But then at the same time, if you're just doing it to get paid, if you're just getting your bills paid, because, let's face it, the majority of his audience is black women, and the majority of black women are dark-skinned. So it's safe to say that dark-skinned black women are paying his bills. So they are essentially his sugar mama, made him rich and famous. And then those same women turn around and get mad when he doesn't prefer to sleep with them. And also, since when does someone have to prefer sleeping with you in order for them to be a music artist? Because clearly the black community doesn't actually care. And that's why Chris Brown, he was not scared to delete his social media because he knows that people are going to still go to his concert. Anytime someone trolls Chris Brown, I notice that's always his defense is, okay, but I'm still selling out shows. Okay, but I'm still going on tour. Okay, but I'm still making hits. That's pretty much his defense all the time. So Chris Brown knows that he cannot be canceled. That's why he's acting the way he is.
Shaming dark-skinned women for liking Chris Brown music is kind of crazy. I'm just saying. Some of us aren't delusional. We know that we're not his preference sexually, and that's okay. We can still like his music. We can still think he's talented. Now, I'm not saying that it's right or wrong that he should, quote-unquote, be a colorist or whatever the hell y'all be saying. I just don't give a fuck. What he like really ain't got shit to do with me. Put the motherfucking song on and get your ass on that stage and do a backflip. That's what I paid for. Ooh, y'all are trying to eat me down to the ground. Okay, so I do not give men passes, baby. I am very, 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 very hard on men. I damn near hate them. That's not the point, though. I just has never seen him say anything disrespectful or derogatory towards just dark-skinned women specifically. If he has, show me. And I'll retract any and everything I said. I'll stop being a CB fan, all that. Because I am a dark-skinned woman. And I do think I'm very pretty. I think I'm very attractive. However, I'm not going to negate the fact that I'm not going to be everyone's cup of tea. That's fine. All I see is a man that's an entertainer, that's attractive, that's talented, that could sing, that could dance. And I like that. Damn, I can't be a fan. I can't think he's... Y'all in the comments trying to do me in. But honestly, fuck y'all. And to be quite frank, Chris Brown is unhinged to any and everybody. Light skin, dark skin, fat skin, and you say something to him, he's gonna say something back. So it's like, I never seen him just say, oh, dark skin, baby, just is ugly. And when did he say that? Show me. Chris Brown is a colorist, okay? I'm tired of him getting away with it. If it was a racist white man that didn't want dark-skinned black women or anybody else that's black in their section, y'all would cancel them quick. But let it be Chris Brown, y'all give him a pass every single time. I'm tired of it, and I hate that I had to use that, but at the end of the day, it's true. These two dark-skinned women that was paying for VIP, he did not let them pay. But the women behind them and their light-skinned friend, he let them pay and get tickets. When the two dark-skinned women was waiting to try to get into VIP section, whole time, their security, Chris Brown's team, he told them that they cannot get in because of their skin color, yet their light-skinned friend can. I'm so sick of this shit. Y'all gotta stop supporting people that don't really like our community, that don't support all of us. And I know this is coming from my red ass, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna stick up for dark-skinned women. Shit, like what the fuck? Why we can't all stick up for them? They go through enough hell. When Tokyo Vanity said that he was a colorist, we should have all believed his ass, because all we do is see him do the same bullshit all the time. And y'all tried to cancel E. Kane for that shit. That whole time, when Chris Brown does it, it's not a problem. It's okay. It's Chris Brown, so he can get a pass to be a colorist. And I should have never been hyping him up yesterday, because the whole time, here he go again with the same bullshit. I'm thinking he changed. Nope, he's still the same colorist woman beater that he's always have been, and he always will be.
Look here, dark-skinned black women, I really need y'all to stop coming to the internet to clutch your invisible pearls and tell us about how Chris Brown and his staff embarrassed you at his fucking show because he said no darkies allowed, okay? Hey, oh my gosh, he doesn't want any darkies here. He said we're not able to come in because we're dark-skinned. Chris Brown made us drink from the colored water fountain. So, why are you there? Y'all do this every 3 to 5 business days. Chris Brown being a colorist is not new information. It's not new. At this point, my outrage isn't even directed at Chris Brown anymore. He's being true to himself. He is being true to what he likes. He does not like dark-skinned black women. He's made that clear several times. He made that clear in London. He made that clear, I guess, most recently in Detroit. Everywhere he goes, he makes it abundantly clear that he does not like dark-skinned black women. And y'all still take your asses over there to go and see him. And then you come to the internet to talk about how his security humiliated you, how you didn't get VIP passes. And it's just like, why are you there? Why are you there? Why do you insist on going to a place where somebody doesn't like you? Like, this whole issue of low racial self-esteem it's a big deal. It is such a big deal, because you cannot pay me to go and see somebody who does not see my humanity and my beauty. You can't. You can't. Like, why are you there? Like, seriously. And then to the ones who are paying like $1,200 just so he can hug you suggestively. Stand up.
Chicks, white chicks. Your body speaks. I'm not racist. I'm not racist. Your body language.
Girl, there's Chris Brown in the club with black women. I'm just trying to understand, and they did this because this has been a running story that Chris Brown doesn't let black girls in his VIP section. But when is the club in this generation so fun that you need to lie about being in it? Y'all need some milk. Because if you could do this to get likes and views and clicks and shares, you could talk about something else. I think Chris Brown has enough people on his neck. Get you some milk.
Well, welcome to my page. I could have
swore you was a scam page, but I see the check mark now. Anyways, all right, let's talk about this because a lot of people do call you a colorist, but I think it's a lot of trolls, a lot of negative people, a lot of people that don't want to see you succeed or win or whatever. As far as me and my personal opinion, I don't think you're a colorist. Do I think you have a preference? Yes. Does everyone have a preference? Yes. And I don't think that's anything to be ashamed about. Who the fuck cares who you date, who you dance with, who you hang out with? Like, I think the media just makes things such a big deal, and it's not a big deal. So we should for sure leave them Chris Brown as a colorist comments in the past, unless you want to do an interview and tell people you're not a colorist. I don't know what's going to rectify the situation. Your fans know you're not a colorist, and we just got to leave it at that.
I just saw Chris Brown comment on this girl's video. Granted, it was probably like a week ago, right? But he know whose videos to comment under. He knows who to respond to. He's never beaten those colorism allegations, bro. He's never beaten those punching on people allegations. He's never beaten that shit because I feel like he knows who to comment on. Like, first of all, you comment on a girl thing and you talk about some nice eyebrows, though. Fuck you feel like a dark-skinned person can't have blonde eyebrows? You literally texturized your hair for years and said that was your real hair and said your mom was white. Knowing damn well your mom is not white. Just because you're a self-hating piece of shit, that doesn't mean everybody else is. So let people do what they want to do, Chris Brown. Because you know what? I want you to comment on my shit. You know why? Because I'm not going to delete the fucking video. I don't know why the girl deleted the video, but I would have exposed your fucking weird ass because you're a weirdo and an abuser. It wasn't just Rihanna. It was many people that was accusing you of shit. And you talking about something, oh, I was a kid, let that go. I don't give a fuck how old you were. You was out there beating on people. But yeah, anyway, that girl, I Am Lavender, is the girl that you responded to. You know just to respond to dark-skinned people when they make you feel some type of way. Then you respond to Tokyo Vanity too?
Okay, so I just wanted to pause it because this girl said that Chris Brown is a self-hating black man who texturizes his hair and said that his mom was white. So that's actually not true. I've never seen Chris Brown say that his mom was white. I know that Chris Brown does identify as biracial.
We don't want him to. Man, what you put a perm in your hair?
Huh?
Did you put a perm in your hair?
No, my hair's like this.
Why your hair?
You like straight?
Yeah.
Put you on Empire? You never seen my hair? You never seen my hair when it curls out?
Man.
Hey man, I'm not all the way black, bro. I'm halfway, man. Right on the cusp.
And he's, if I'm not mistaken, I think he's like, 75% African, 25% European, somewhere around that mix. So there are going to be some biracial supremacists who try to say, oh, well, that doesn't count as biracial. But people identify as biracial without having a white parent all the time. Anybody who's mixed knows that. And I've also noticed when it comes to the biracial identity, it's okay to identify as biracial if you're 75% white. Or if you have majority white ancestry, kind of like Halsey or like the girl that was in Sinners. Then it's okay to identify as biracial, but when it's Chris Brown, because he doesn't have a fully non-black parent, then suddenly you got this dark-skinned black woman who's not even mixed at all, trying to say that he must be self-hating. So that's number one, is why are there people policing mixed people's identity? They're policing the biracial identity. They're not even a part of the biracial or mixed race community at all. And then she says that he texturizes his hair. I don't know if he texturizes his hair. I will pull up some pictures, and if you have Chris Brown's hair type, and you've texturized or permed your hair, you can comment down below if if his hair looks the same as how yours looked when it was texturized. I'm not sure how they're coming up with that. But even if he did texturize or perm his hair or dye his hair, or even if he was wearing a toupee, I mean, there are men in the Latino community who wear toupees all the time. There are all kinds of actors who do all kinds of different things with their hair. Bradley Cooper, his hair is not naturally curly. There are men who do different things with their hair. So it's interesting how everybody else can do whatever they want with their hair, especially like black women. And then they'll come for exotical women and they'll say, oh, well, she dyed her hair blonde, or, that's not her real hair texture. She's wearing a lace front. And then even in the case of a male, Chris Brown, they're saying, oh, well, he's self-hating, because he's using a texture. Are you going to keep the same energy for the millions of black women who are gluing Mongolian and Burmese women's hair to their head? to the point where they're literally causing alopecia and ripping out their edges, gluing hair to your head. What's worse, putting a chemical on your hair to dye it or straighten it, or not growing your hair out of your head at all, or shaving your head bald, so you can spend the rest of your life gluing someone else's hair to your head? So that's a hypocrisy right there.
Christopher Paze Brown. Bitch, stop playing with me. Okay, all that talking about can you take me out and all that, like, bitch, that shit not funny. Second of all, bitch, I'm not even your type, bitch. You into things of, lighter complexion. Coke, heroin, Molly, acid, embalming fluid, cigarettes. I'm just saying, Puerto Rican women, white women, Asian women, and that's all fine because that's your preference and we are entitled to a preference. Bitch, all I'm doing is calling it like I see it. When we was in the club in Miami and when we was in the club in LA, bitch, in your section, your rules was no darkies. You wouldn't let my homegirl in LA, but you let all her friends in. And in Miami, you wouldn't let my other homegirl in, but you let all her friends in. But y'all was talking about no dark-skinned women. All I'm saying is, like a gangster, how you feel, stand on that shit. Because me, however I feel about anything, I'ma stand on the 10 toes. Bitch, don't come changing your opinion and how you feel about shit because everybody bashing you. And furthermore, I told my homegirl not to even be in your section because, bitch, she don't even do coke.
Plus 2 other girls. So Boba finally comes to the gate around like 7:15. He comes to the gate. I know it's him because he had a name tag on. His name tag basically said Boba. So I'm like, hey, are you Boba? Are you Chris Brown's manager? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, I'm here with such and such. He said that you would be escorting me and my friends to the VIP platform. And he was like, oh, no, sorry, I don't have any more VIP wristbands. So mind you, it's 7:10, like 7:05, 7:10. So the concert just started. And I actually saw him have like 50 VIP wristbands in his pocket, but we're going to get there in a second. So he's like, I'm sorry, I don't have any more VIP wristbands left. So I'm like, huh? I'm like, I just got off the phone with such and such. He said that you were expecting me and my friends to come. So he's like, I'm sorry, sweetheart, I can't help you. And he walks away. Doesn't give us a ticket, don't give us any explanation, just that he doesn't have the wristbands. So I immediately get on the phone with my friend that works, with Chris Brown, knows Boba, knows all of them personally. And he's like, what? He's like, he literally just told me that he was coming to get y'all and he was expecting y'all. So he's like, let me call him and see what's going on. So he calls me back and he's just apologizing. He's like, I'm sorry, I don't know why he's tripping like that, but he doesn't want to give you guys the wristbands. So in the midst of it, I'm like, okay, well, he said he didn't have any left. But in the midst of it, we're standing there waiting for about 30 minutes to an hour. And me and my friends are watching him give girls wristbands that came way after us. And these girls were mixed. They were light skinned. They were Blasian. They were white. They were like, they didn't look like. So one of the guys from Chris Brown's entourage that was also with Boba walked up to my Puerto Rican friend and offered her a wristband. And she was like, well, what about my 2 friends that I'm with? And they're like, we can't help them. To make a long story short, we stood there and wasted. We missed Summer Walker and Bryson Tiller because we stood there waiting for somebody to help us for an hour. Boba and the rest of the entourage kept coming up, playing in our faces. They even tried to make us perform for the tickets, like made us spin around, audition, jump up and down on one leg, and stuff that the other women that did not have to do, like the light skinned girls, the white girls, the mixed girls. They didn't have to do that. They walked up, got their wristbands, were escorted down with no problem. So yeah, after them playing in our face for about an hour, we basically peeped what was going on. We realized we weren't, getting in, and that was that. So after like an hour of us waiting, Boba comes back and he gives us regular tickets, like tickets that were like, up in the sections, like up in the stands or whatever. So, I wasn't like tripping, but I just felt like he was only doing that because I had to basically, not necessarily harass him, but stress to him that we just drove all the way here from Cleveland and we were promised like VIP passes, VIP tickets by such and such. And he said you knew we were coming.
Also, I just wanted to point out that allegedly the way he picks people is based on who's in his VIP. We just heard that girl say that he preferred mixed women, light-skinned women, and Blasian-looking women, which Kayla actually does look like she is Blasian. That's actually what I first thought when I saw her. I thought she looked like a darker version of Karuchi. But then also, some people are saying that Chris Brown has some sort of fetish for women that wear their real hair. So Kayla is known to rock her natural hair a lot. But what do you ladies think? Let me know in the comment section, and I'll talk to you next time. Stay pretty, ladies.